Hey, I'm back. I never know how far to be from the camera to the camera. Like, should I be up here? Should I be back here? I never know. Let's just get into it. As you know, every month I do a reading log. You can look at those past 10. But this year, and probably the rest of the years in the future, I decided to switch it up a little bit. So how I'm going to be doing it is at the beginning of the year, I counted down what I want to read for the month, for every single month. Every single month, I was like, okay, this month I want to read this, and this I want to read this. That's what I did basically. Now, I can strive from the list. If one month I'm not like like I'm reading a series and I'm super bored of it, or I just don't really like it very much, I can stop. It's not like forced on me, but it is just a way for me to have a goal and like something to do that month. Like I don't want to have a month. I kind of got to a point like when I was reading manga, like in a month I would not read. I wouldn't really want to read anything, and then I realized I had to film a video, so I was like, shit. So I just like struggled to like find things in my collection to read. I mean, I have a crap ton of things to read, but sometimes I just don't really want to read, or like I don't know what to read. So I made these goals. So before we get into the manga log, let's talk about the goals that I had. One, finish the Bleach box set. Finish the first one. That I did. I got to volume 21. You'll see it in the manga log. Second, read all of Planetes. I think that's how you pronounce it. It's by the same author of Vinland Saga. I also read that. Third, read the first part, or like finish the first part. So I read the first volume. Finish the first part of JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. That's third. That's another one I finished. And fourth, read at least a little bit. You don't have to finish. Read at least a little bit of Claymore. That was all of them. Now, obviously, there are going to be manga that's straight from there. There's going to be some volumes that I wanted to read this month that aren't in the goals because I just wanted to read them. I'm not going to, like, tell myself, no, don't read it. Because, because of, like I'm wanting to read it, not wanting to read it. So, yeah, we're just going to get into it. I've already wasted enough of your time. Let's go. The first volume is not one of the volumes from the goals, which is... It's crazy. This was a great month for me. Like, I didn't read much manga, but the manga I read, amazing. There wasn't there wasn't a single, like, just good one. All the manga were at least great and up. So let's start. We have Dissolving Classroom by Junji Ito. Do I even need to talk about it? It has the same pros and flaws of Uzumaki, I think. It's absolutely gross and disgusting. It's horrific. It's terrifying. I think the reason why Junji Ito is such like a great horror like artist is because he doesn't make like all the characters really look and act like regular people, kind of, where like you can see like regular people in certain situations, just like just stuff happening to them, and like and most of like. At least what I've read of the two like different series I read of Drifting Classroom and Uzumaki, it's more of characters being thrust into a situation that is like not beatable and absolutely horrifying, and you kind of just need to deal with it. That's most of his stories, I believe. Now, the problem I have with this, again, with Junji Ito in general, is the characters. They suck. I'm sorry, okay? The characters are not... I'm just not a fan of the characters. I'm just not. I just don't like the characters all too much. I really don't. Like I said, the characters are very normal. And that's the problem. They're too normal. This guy made a deal with the devil. And he says sorry a bunch of times. And when you hear him say sorry, your head melts. Why does he pray to the devil? Why did he make a deal with the devil? Why does he do this? Why? Like... And there are some cool things in this. It's very, very good. Don't get me wrong. But, like, there's some problem with Junji Ito that I just don't think, like, he's gone past yet. At least of what I've read. But, we'll see what happens. We'll put this on this side over. Next, we have another one volume. It is Tokyo Ghoul Volume 3. I didn't hate this. I loved it, actually. I really, really liked it. But... I don't have big problems with it. I really don't. The things I read this month I thought were better. They moved the plot more forward. I like how in this series, like let's take a random series like Demon Slayer. You know, most of Demon Slayer, you're on the side of the heroes, right? You're on the side of the good the humans, right? The good guys, the main character. And I like on this volume in the series, it looks at both sides. Like in Demon Slayer, most of the times with the demons, you like don't care. Maybe at like when they're about to die, they'll get a flashback on why they're like this or whatever. But after the chapter's over, you don't really care. You go on to the next demon. It doesn't really do that in here though. The humans are depicted as sometimes evil to the ghouls, and the ghouls are depicted evil to the humans. It's actually really interesting. I thought they were going to go away where they flip the sides and the ghouls and like the demons or whatever are the good guys and the humans are the bad guys. But no, because you get like small little lines that are kind of heartbreaking. Well, they'll be like, oh, this guy was hunting a ghoul and he died. Guess his daughter's not going to have a father anymore. And like, damn, if you think about it, yeah, we're on the ghoul like side of things, but humans are still being killed by these guys every day. But you kind of sympathize with the ghouls too, because they didn't choose to be a ghoul. They just need to eat. That's what they do. They need to eat. And that's where I think the main character plays a great play into it, because he's both at the same time, but also none. And it's really, really cool where he can be this like standout person, I guess, or like this person who can understand both sides, but also doesn't understand either of them. It's very interesting. And there's a line, I don't think it was in this volume, I think it was in the first or second, where he says, I'm not a ghoul and I'm not a human, I'm just alone. And I think that is a great depiction of what his character is in the means of the story, where he's this character that's not really on either side. And yes, he's more on the ghoul side than the human side, but he kind of stands in the middle. And it makes him so interesting because you don't really, well, you know where he stands. He stands with the ghouls, obviously, but you could see him rooting for this side or that side, or you could see him being with this side or that side. And he kind of blurs the line between the two where they can understand each other. And they don't have to be this, I mean, ghouls will always eat humans. That's something that'll always happen. But he can kind of blend that line of evil and good, or, good and evil. And he can blend that line to the people who are eaten and the people that die, basically. The people who are eaten and the people who eat, basically. But he can make sure that no one is portrayed as good or evil, if that makes sense. I don't know. Sometimes I just yap. All right, we're going to move on to the next one. Next, we got 3 volumes, actually. We have Claymore, volumes 4, 5, and 6. I didn't read much of Claymore, not because it was bad. I mean, I just went on like a 3-minute rant section about Tokyo Ghoul, about 1 volume, okay? It's not like this was bad, and this is above it. Oh, I should probably specify, the way I go through these manga is worst to best. I feel like I have to specify that every video. So, Drifting Classroom was the worst. Whatever's at the front is the best. I just liked doing that, so you can, see what I liked more and what I didn't like, like you can understand where my opinions are. I really just have Claymore here because of how fast-paced it's been and how, like, interesting the organization and, like, the corruption has been. It's been really interesting, and it wasn't a place that I thought the series would go. I honestly thought the series would be, like, villain of the week type stuff, where the main character just, like, goes throughout every fucking journey or whatever, fights a, whatever they're called. What are they called? I forgot. Like, a demon or whatever. Gets their paycheck, and that's it. And they grow as humans, right? I thought that was going to be it. I thought it was just going to be boring. But it's going into a really interesting place. Especially after Volume 3. Volumes 4, 5, and 6 were super, super interesting. So I really do want to finish this series soon. I just really don't know when. I don't really have the time. I was going to read Volume 7, and then I was like, shit. I got to go, like, finish my goals. So, I'll do that next. Alright. Next, after Claymore, is JoJo's Bizarre Adventure Part 1. I don't know. This is a weird series. At one point, this was like a 5, 6 out of 10. And at other points, it was like a 9 out of 10. So I kind of had to put it in the middle and put it at an 8. So the reason I say that is because the like middle portion where they're like fighting demons, especially the second volume, boring as hell. really bad, not good. Well, it was good. Like the art is like decent. You know, it's very stiff. You can't really see what's happening. It's not very fluid, but like it's very like detailed and it's like good. The characters are kind of interesting. The duality between Jonathan and Dio is very, very cool. I love their relationship. I love their like juxtaposition, how they're equal and opposites. It's very interesting. But like this guy in the front, he wasn't cool. What was it, Speedwagon or whatever the hell his name is? He wasn't interesting. There was like a little kid who like had a sister or whatever. Like I didn't really care about him. A lot of these characters I just didn't care about. But you know, the two like main characters I did. And really this is here because the ending I thought was really, really good. I really liked the ending. And I love how it played in like Dio's always gonna be there and Jonathan had to like take himself out with Dio and that he couldn't just kill him and be happy with his family. He had to sacrifice something. And that was himself, but eventually not his offspring, but a child is born and that child is being taken care of by his wife. And so he knows that he can die and kill Dio while his child lives on and has a happy life and cannot be in danger. I think that's a really, really cool idea. I really like that. I really like the end. It's super sick. Let's move on. Next, I have Mob Psycho 100, volumes 4 and 5. Very, just like really good. Honestly, start of volume 4, I didn't really care about. And then the second half of volume 4, amazing. I didn't realize, I love when series do this, when I don't realize shit. I didn't realize that they were building up the Ritsu character to be this like jealous, like older brother. And it's super interesting because they're kind of both jealous of themselves. Like when Mob, like you know how Mob has that relationship with that one girl, I forgot her name. And he imagines her with that girl. He like, when he imagines himself, he's taller. He looks more like his brother. And his brother has always wanted psychic powers. And it's super interesting. I really, really like it. And then at the end, when he does get psychic powers and he's being taken advantage by this ghost or whatever, Dimple, whatever he is, it's super cool how like this like child can be influenced by this devil and demon and think he's like getting what he needs and like this is a good thing and he's like happy. He thinks he's happy and he's ending up just beating people up for no reason. That's super sick. And then when he does meet his brother and his brother's like, guys, I'm so sorry about my brother. I really, really like that. And I love like this like sense of control he needs. It's very interesting. And then eventually he does turn it around. I'm a huge fan of this series. I like how in the 5th volume they keep like with these different villains and stuff, they keep pestering Mob and you can see like just by his design he's getting angrier and angrier and angrier throughout like the entire thing. Since like the end of volume 4 I've been hooked on this series. This was the last thing I read actually. Big fan. I'm loving it. Volume 6, I don't know what I'm gonna read. I don't know, but I'll read it eventually. Next, I have volumes 1 through 8 right now, so I want to maybe get some more volumes. I don't know. Next, the second to last series. I know this is going quick. I didn't read much. Second to last series is Planet Test volumes 1 and 2. This was amazing. It was so good. If you don't know, I have a Twitter or X account. It really doesn't matter. I have a Twitter account where if I, when I read a volume and I like it or, I have something to talk about, I'll tweet about it and I'll talk about it. I made a tweet that was like, this manga is basically perfect. And it kind of is. It kind of isn't. First off, let me go with the positives because I got a lot to say. First, art, beautiful. So good. It's so spacious. Space is good because it takes place in space. But it works well with the story. Amazing environments, spacious. All this stuff is very detailed and cool. It has that sci-fi element. It looks amazing. Next, characters. All well written. They all have like a different idea and ideology about life with them, every single one. And it's super interesting. And you can never say one is wrong. And they have these little fights with each other about their ideology. Mainly the main character and this other girl who eventually marries. They have fights about what they want or what they need or, you know, whatever. Or like what they want to strive for. And you can't really say which one is wrong and which one is right because they're kind of both right. And it's super interesting. I love when it's very difficult to do, but I love when series are able to make interesting fights and not make one person just a villain, you know? Like, you can see where both people are coming from, and it makes a very interesting duality. Next, tone, very, very good. Like, really, really good, really well made. Themes, amazingly executed. I couldn't have asked for better executed themes. I love the themes about how you can strive for your goals, but eventually you always have to come back to loving humans. And like, you have to love, you know, like, you can strive for your goals and eventually your goals and your morale, I guess, maybe not your morale, but your goals and your enjoyment will collide, and you have to choose which one you want to pursue. And I like how the main character kind of does both, because you have these other characters who, like Yuri, or like I meant the girl who married him, I forgot her name, but you know, Yuri and the guy, the other girl, they're very love oriented. Yuri was a person who literally took up a job just to find a compass that she owned or whatever, that his dead wife owned. And like this other girl, like loves everybody basically. That's really it. She just loves everybody. And it's super cool how those characters can basically just say, I don't really have any goals. I just want to enjoy my family, and I just want to love, like, I just want to be with the people that I love. And I find that's really, really good with the main character's juxtaposition, where you kind of expect at the beginning to like sway more to their side and be like, oh yeah, I learned the error of my ways and I did this. And he doesn't. He goes on with his mission, and he goes on, and he still goes on like the Jupiter trip that he always wanted to go on to make money. And he says at the end of the book, it's something like, you know, I went on this Jupiter trip and I hope my wife, you know, isn't doing anything with everyone else. But eventually I'll go back to being a trash collector so that I'll go on being a trash collector because I know I'll never be able to stop loving people. And I love how this main character, who originally was a very like selfish guy and very goal oriented and only strives for what he wanted, eventually came back and saw the beauty in trash collecting. Ironically, he saw the beauty in the world around him and the people around him, the people that he loved, and his family members and his friends. And he saw that beauty, and he realized that it wasn't awful to care about it. It wasn't bad to care about it, and I loved it. But I do have some problems with the series. I do have some problems. One, very episodic. The series is very episodic. If you're not an episodic guy, and I'm not, you're not gonna enjoy the first half of the first volume. It was a struggle to go through. I knew the series would get really, really good, but it was definitely a struggle. It's the problem I had with Vinland Saga too. The first two volumes, or like the first volume, felt very episodic for some reason. At least to me. I've never heard anyone else complain about that. But to me, felt very slow-paced, very episodic. And I can deal with slow-paced stuff. I love Naruki Urasawa's works. Well, I loved Monster and Asadora, the only two that I've read. But I can deal with slow-paced. But this one just felt a little bit too slow-paced. And the pacing kind of felt all over the place. At first, I thought Yuri was going to be the main character. And then they went to this other guy, I forgot his name, but you know, this other guy who became the main character. It didn't really feel focused at all. It kind of just felt like the author was doing shit. Also, around the end of the series, we get into this one character's like arc and their backstory. Definitely a long time coming. It just felt really abrupt because we were getting like the end, and really the ending was only able to have like 2 chapters worth of space because of this one arc that this character had. And because there was only 2 chapters left of space, the ending kind of felt a bit rushed. Those are really the only problems I had with the series, though. The series overall is amazing. I loved it. Really, really did. Sorry, I don't know if you could tell. I was chewing gum while doing this, and it got like shitty, so I had to go swallow it. All right, next. I'm not gonna bring it up because it's a lot of volumes. It's the biggest out of all these. It's what, 11 volumes, I think, 10 volumes. I don't know, around there. Let's get to it. You probably already know. It's Bleach, volumes 1 through 21. I'll just hold this volume up for now because I don't want to scroll through the chapters. What do I have to say about Bleach Soul Society arc that hasn't already been said? First off, fights, hype as hell. All right, the fights are so freaking hype. Okay, every single fight is sick. The choreography is sick. The art is sick. It has such a cool style. Love it. Love Bleach. Like the fights, at least. Characters, all amazing. Character backstories, ooh, they're so good. The character arcs, I love how, this is a very like basic thing to say, but I love how the fights express the arcs between the characters, and people like have to fight with their ideologies and different stuff like that, and they fight with their ideas while they're also, you know, bare knuckle fighting, or I guess bare sword fighting. And I really, really love that. That is super sick. And I know that's like a small thing to like, oh, give your characters motives. But the stuff I've read, there really isn't much. A lot of it, like, I'm talking about Black Clover, let's be honest. A lot of early Black Clover, at least of what I read, is Asta being like, I didn't think I could beat you at first, but now I think I can beat you because I'm going to be the Wizard King. And I'm like, okay, cool. But this is actually pays off super, super well. It's super good. The art, like, I can't express it enough. The art is sick. It's so fluid. It's so dynamic. It uses a lot of blacks and whites, and it does background super, super well. And really, when I mean super, super well, I mean the lack of backgrounds. It's able it's able to know when to not and when to use backgrounds. Awesome. All the character like backgrounds or not background flashbacks and stuff like that, amazing. Loved all of them. It really expressed why characters are the way they are, and it also showed off the world more, and it showed off more of the world building with the character backstories, which I loved. Amazing stuff. Also pacing, amazing. Pacing was like so good. This arc was like almost perfection. It was so close to perfection. And I don't mean that as a knock. I had one problem. I just had one problem. And I felt like Ichigo, the main character, had some plot conveniences. And really, I just mean that with Bankai. Somehow, he learned Bankai. Usually what it takes, like, other people to, like, 10 years, learn that shit in, like, a week. All right? That's kind of weird. That's, like, the only problem I had with it. And apparently he went, you know, he did, like, some super secret training. My brother in Christ. I could do some super secret training. I ain't becoming Muhammad Ali in 7 days. Okay? Like, there's definitely some problems with this series, I'm not going to lie. But I rated it a 9.9 out of 10. Like, this arc, one of my favorite arcs in, like, shonen. Like, so good. It's so good. Or at least in battle shonen. Let me clear that. Because Haikyuu, any match in Haikyuu beats this out of the water. I'm joking. Kind of. But, like, with One Piece and okay, if I had to rank my top 10 battle shonen arcs, 9 of them are going to One Piece, 1 of them is going to Bleach. Bleach is at least top 5. Let's do my 5 favorite arcs right now, actually. Only battle shonen. Well, what does Dandadan count as? Trying to think. Or, Hunter x Hunter. I haven't read much Hunter x Hunter yet, though. The first arc, like, that arc isn't amazing. Maybe it's in my top 10, because I haven't read a bunch of battle shonen. But, like, the Hunter exam arc, it's really good. I don't know if amazing is the right word. If I had to say my top 10, number 1's Marineford of One Piece, obviously. Number 2? Wait. Is it Enies Lobby or Marine? Number 2 is Enies Lobby / Water 7. Either one of those is fine. Number 3 is Soul Society. Easy. I'm looking around my manga. Sorry about that. My phone died. What was I was talking about shonen arcs. My favorite shonen arcs. I don't know. I'll give top 5. I'll give top 5 from different series. So I can only use a series once. So number 1, it's Marineford. from One Piece. Number 2, Soul Society from Bleach. Number 3, trying to think. What? Okay, I read Food Wars. I'm talking Battle Shonen. Battle Shonen. If it was like fucking all shonen, oh shit, it's nothing. Oh, the arc. I don't know if you count it as arc. Adam versus Zeus in Record of Ragnarok. That's number 3. Number 4 is definitely the arc where they have like that team Shokugeki in Food Wars. That's number 4. And number 5. I gotta give it to Infinity Castle with Demon Slayer. I don't know. It's not a great arc. Does Fullmetal Alchemist count as a battle shonen? And if it did, what is there arcs in Fullmetal Alchemist? It's kind of just one complete story. I'm trying to think. Gangsta's definitely not a shonen. Shit. I don't know. Oh wait, Go-Go Loser Ranger. That's a great manga. Hold on. Give me 1 second. I need to figure this out. I forgot about Blue Lock. Bro, the second selection of Blue Lock, best arc in Blue Lock. But that would be number like 3. And then move Record of Ragnarok and Food Wars down. That's 4 and 5. Okay, I'm gonna go. I need to go release this video now. Sorry, my phone died. And then when I started charging my phone, someone called me. So it took a little bit. And then I forgot I had to finish this, so I'm gonna go eat. I'm gonna go eat dinner. All right, bye.